Hey everybody, it's your girl Kitty Cat. Welcome back to my channel. We are back with another bedtime, tea time, story time story, okay? Now keep in mind that story time videos are made for entertainment and healing purposes only. They are not made at all with malicious intent. These videos are just for us to relax, have some fun, talk about our old mistakes, and maybe even heal sometimes. So yeah, grab your snacks, grab some tea, and let's have some fun. So this story time is it's about a time that I had a personal trainer experience gone wrong, just like complete fail. Okay, this video, it starts off a little bit emotional because, you know, it cuts deep for real. My whole life, I've always kind of dealt with body issues and weight, and I guess just thinking, am I good enough for this world that we live in? I grew up in a time where we did not have Instagram, we did not have all these different curvy people to look up to. We didn't have people like Ashley Graham. We didn't have people like Kim Kardashian, you know, people like more fuller figured people, whether they paid for it or not. We didn't really see it. When I was growing up, what was considered beautiful, or at least what I was seeing in media, it was like the Paris Hilton body type, the Lindsay Lohan, the Britney Spears, you know, just that mesomorph, ectomorph body type. You did not really see a lot of the curves until later on. So growing up, I always just felt like I was not good enough. I always felt like that when it came to my weight. Finally, when I was about like 19, I decided to do something about it. I started my weight loss journey, and that's another story for another video. I had a weight loss journey. I had lost about 40 pounds by the time that I was 20. And the way that I had lost all the weight was by eating better and by running. I was a runner. I ran about 2 or 3 miles 3 times a week. That was how I had maintained my weight. Now, keep in mind, during this time, I was also in college. I lived in a city that was a lot safer than the city I grew up in. And so when I got out of college and, you know, the whole flight attendant thing didn't work out, I ended up moving back home to Denver. And I was basically trying to do the same workouts here in Denver that I used to do in my college city. So when I moved back to Denver, I would just do what I always did. I would put on my shoes, my workout clothes, and I would just start hitting the pavement, like just start going on a run. So I had this neighbor, and I've known her forever. In this video, we're gonna call her June. So my neighbor June, she always says what's up. She always shows love. But like when she saw me outside, she used to get so angry. Like she never would cuss me out, but she would like fuss me out. She'd be like, girl, why are you running out here in the streets? What are you doing this for? And I'd be like, oh, hey, Miss June, like, I'm just out doing my workout. This is just how I keep in shape. And she was like, like, I don't want to see you out here running. And I was like, what do you mean? And she said, it's not safe for you to be out here running in this neighborhood. It's just not. Like, I love you and I care about you so much. I don't want to see you on the news. Okay, Miss June, I respect what you're saying. At that time of my life, I hated gyms, like hated rec centers, hated gyms, fitness centers, all that. I just always felt like they had like a weird odor to them. I hated that, you know, there's men there that just like want to talk to you while you're working out and you're like, please step away, sir. But I was like, you know what? Safety is first. I'll just suck it up and I'll get a gym membership. So I did. I got a gym membership. I had such a hard time going at first because I had this almost like social anxiety of, oh my gosh, there's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people here. And then I would just kind of try to work through it. Like, you know what, girl, like just go in there, keep your head down. Don't talk to anybody. If you see someone you know, say what's up. But, you know, other than that, try to just get in there, do your workout, and get the out. Back then, I really did not know a lot about working out, and because I had been a runner for a while, that like I just did cardio, and that's what I would do at the gym too. I would just do the elliptical, maybe run a mile or two, maybe hit a couple squats, do some push-ups. Peace. And so I would just do a quick workout, try to be out within like 45 minutes. And I did that for about a year. I just noticed that I was maintaining my weight, but I wasn't seeing new results. I wasn't losing any new weight. Like everything just kind of had looked the same. Like I just felt like I was maintaining, but I wasn't seeing improvement. After about a year of just going to the gym on my own, I was like, maybe I really don't know it all. And I don't really care to spend time to like look up how to do workouts and how to lift weights. And like, I don't want to, you know, hit up some guy I know to show me either. Like I should just do it the right way, get a trainer, and learn. So that's what I did. I was so optimistic about it. I went to my gym's front desk and I was like, hey, you know, what is all entailed with getting a trainer? And their eyes lit up. They were so excited. They were like, let's get you set up with a meeting on this day, and you know, you can kind of decide from there what you want to do. I showed up for my training assessment, right? So this assessment is complimentary. It's free. It's literally just for you to come, see what it would be like, see what the cost is, see if it's something that could even work for your lifestyle. I go to my consultation and the trainer, let's name him Brian. I'm kind of feeling like Brian. I met Brian. He was a super nice guy. He was a trainer that I hadn't really seen in the gym before. He looked like he was new, which I really liked. We'll come back to that later. So I sit down with Brian and we start to talk. He's like, tell me, why do you want to have a trainer? What are your goals? Like, what are you kind of looking to do here? And I kind of just gave him like my whole like life story basically. And I got really vulnerable. I mean, I didn't cry, but you know, I got vulnerable. I shared things with him that I don't share with my friends or my family. It's like kind of stuff I just keep inside, but I just shared with him everything that I was looking to achieve with getting a personal trainer and what I was looking to do. He validated me. He listened to me. He said, you know, I completely understand where you're coming from and why you want to make this change in your life, and I admire that. So we're going to get you on the right path. And I was like, okay. I felt very comfortable opening up to him about everything, so I felt safe. Then we did the workout portion where they see, you know, how many push-ups can you do in a minute, how fast can you run a mile, all that stuff. And then we sat down again and we talked about pricing and how things would look and what scheduling would be like. Price was kind of expensive a little bit. I mean, like it's an extra, basically a bill every month, because I wanted to work out like once a week. I was like, I just need a once a week workout. I can come on my own. I just need to know what to do. So I set it up to have a workout with Brian once a week, and I'd be paying basically $50 a session. And I thought, oh, I could pay $50 every week. That's not bad. Because I thought I would be able to do it like a la carte, like, oh, pay $50 cash this week, maybe put it on the credit card next week. But no, that's not how they do it at the gym. That's not how they do it, honey. They want like your banking, your checking, your routing. They want all that so that they could pull it at like the first of the month, like a bill. And I was like, ooh, no, I don't really like that idea. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like a whole bill. I thought I could just do like a la carte type of thing. They were like, nah, that's not how it works. It was supposed to be like $200 a month. I was able to sweet talk my way down to a cheaper price. I don't know how I did it, but I just worked my magic. We decided to go through with the payments, and I kind of read through the rules. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I say kinda, I say I glossed over the rules. I just didn't really pay attention to that, and that's something, anytime you're ever signing something, literally take the time to read it seriously, because sometimes you really don't know what you're signing until it's too late, which we're about to get into. So I signed the contract and I feel so liberated. I'm like, you know what? I am taking control of my life. I am taking control of my destiny, and I'm going to take my body to places it's never been before. So I was pumped to have this trainer. So my first session with him went really great. I was sore, I was feeling it, I was learning different moves I had never done before. Second session went really well. Third session went really well. And I'm like, hell yes, I am on my way. This was also during like a really busy time of year. I was doing a lot of traveling, stuff like that. So I did have to take a couple weeks off from the training to go travel and do what I needed to do. So I let Brian know, hey, I'm going out of town for such and such a time. When I come back, we'll kind of pick up where we left off type of thing. He had kind of told me like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to like stay with you. And I said, what do you mean? And he's like, well, normally I'm just the guy who kind of gets everything started and then you go to another trainer. And I was like, I don't really like that idea, because I shared with you a lot of personal information. Like, it's called a personal trainer. So, you know, you and I, we got really personal. I shared with you a lot of private information. Like, I don't want to like bounce around from trainer to trainer, like to someone who doesn't really know me and to someone who doesn't know my story or like why I'm really doing this. Because you know what, let's face it, there are personal trainers out there who absolutely love what they do and they're passionate, and then there's personal trainers out there that are like, this is a stepping stone, I'm just here doing this right now till I can get to my next point. And I knew, being with Brian, I was like, he actually gives a damn about my fitness future. I was like, look, that's not going to work for me. Either you're my trainer or I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, okay, I'll talk to my boss. I'll see what I can do. I go on my little vacations. I do my traveling. I do what I need to do. And then I came back to Denver and I'm like calling the gym, trying to set up a time with Brian. I'm like one of those clients that I can't have the same time every week because my schedule is constantly changing. So I called the gym for like a couple days and I was like, hi, can I talk with Brian? Brian's not here. Okay, call again later. Hi, is Brian available? Brian's not here. Can I make an appointment with Brian? Brian's not here. And it was just like a couple weeks of that going on, of this like, well, Brian's not here, you know? And I'm like, okay, like I'm literally paying for this. I've been working in the beauty industry forever. And someone that I used to work with at the department store, they worked for another makeup brand. We both were going to this same trainer. We were both going to Brian. And one day I asked my friend, I was like, hey friend, what's going on with you and your sessions with Brian? Like, I have not been able to get in touch with him for a couple weeks, and like, I'm not trying to be paying for some service that I'm not receiving. And he's like, oh girl, did you not hear? And I said, hear what? And he's like, no, Brian is at another gym now. And I was like, say what? And it's like, yeah, it's still like the same franchise, but he's at another location. And I was like, oh, hell no. Like, why wouldn't he tell us that? Why wouldn't the gym tell us that? Like, so when I had that information, I went to the gym and I was like, so what's this I hear about Brian getting transferred? He's not at this location anymore. And he's like, yeah, Brian got transferred to this other location, la-di-da-di-da, we're really happy for him. And I was like, okay, that's great. However, I'm his client here at this location. So what does that mean for me? And they were like, oh, well, you know, we've got tons of trainers here. You could work with anyone that you'd like. And I'm gonna be really honest, like I told y'all before, I had been going to that gym for about a year. So I saw the way that the trainers there, how they interacted with people, how they interacted with each other. Their level of professionalism was not where I was at. I want to have the best. I want someone who's going to take it serious, and I want someone who's going to be professional. So I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in what you guys have to offer here. And they were like, well, go try it at his gym. You know, you can go over to that location that he's at and see how you like it. So I gave it a shot. I was like, you know what? I'm still have my goals in place. So I went to Brian's location. Okay, so the reason that I loved the gym that I went to so much was that because not only was it like affordable, it was in proximity to where I lived. It was not a very far commute to go to the gym. It's even harder when the gym you're going to is 20 minutes from you. And that's how far away his new location was. It was 20 minutes from me. I went and I had a session with Brian over there. Brian talked to me. He was like, look, I'm really sorry about what happened. I thought that they were going to contact my clients. Everything happened so quick. I got a promotion, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, look, dude, it's all good, but I don't really like this. I chose you as my personal trainer. And like, now you guys are kind of backtracking, saying like, you can't be my trainer anymore. And unless I come all the way over here, which isn't really convenient for me. So I go back to the gym. You know, it's all this back and forth. I've tried going to Brian's new location. As far as like time and convenience, it's just not convenient for me to travel, you know, almost half an hour for like a 30-minute workout. So I was like, I'm not happy with this. Like, I feel like you guys messed up in the first place by not communicating with me and letting me know that he was getting moved to another gym, because I would have told y'all then that I was not okay with this. And they were like, well, you signed a contract, sweetie. And I was like, wait, what? Yeah, you signed a contract. So I was like, okay, so what? How do I get out of this contract? They were like, well, there's 3 ways you can get out of this. Option number 1, you can pay $3,000 to break this contract. 2, B, you can get a doctor's note saying that you can't work out for at least a year. Or number 3, you have to have a change of address. You need to be living like X amount of miles away from any of our gym locations. And if you don't do any of those things, you are still going to be required to pay us every single month regardless. And I was like, what the heck did I sign up for, Catherine? What did you do, girl? I was like, oh my gosh. It's just one of those moments when you, like in your adulthood, where you're like, oh, I made a mistake. Yeah, I made a mistake. How do I fix it? How do I get out of this now, you know? And like I go home and I tell my mom everything, and she's like, girl, what'd I tell you about them contracts? You know what I'm saying? And I was like, but mom, like I just had all these goals and these dreams and I wanted to achieve and da 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 da. And she was like, well, child, you're going to have to figure out how you're going to get out of it. I was like, oh my God. So immediately I start figuring out, how am I going to get out of this? And immediately I'm like, okay, I'm not going to pay $3,000 to like get out of this. I went up there like again to see if there was any way I could get out of it. And they were like, no, it's still the same, like the same. And I was like, but you guys literally played me. Like, you guys played me. You guys had me sign up with this personal trainer that I thought was going to be my personal trainer. Then y'all switched up, had to move to another gym. You never contacted me to let me know what was going on. Yet you guys just assumed and expected that I would be okay just going with somebody else in your gym. And that you were wrong. Like, I don't feel comfortable, nor do I want to work with any of you at this gym, especially after all this. I don't want to work with any of you. I don't trust any of you. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, look, you guys, I get you're in a business to help people thrive and to grow, but you're also being like a freaking scammer. That's booty. I went through all my options. I talked to literally every person I knew in the medical field, anyone who had a mom who was a nurse, like anything. I talked to anyone to see if anybody would give me a doctor's note. And then as far as changing my address, I was like, oh my gosh, do I need to move cities to avoid this issue?
So here's what went down. No one in the medical field would write me a doctor's note because that's illegal, and no respectable doctor would put their license at risk. I ended up having to change my address to a location far enough away from the gym so I would no longer be required to go because the distance was too far.
Basically, that's what happened. I had a personal trainer experience gone wrong. I went into it thinking, oh my gosh, I'm about to change my life. And it was like, oh my gosh, I just earned a really good life lesson. If there's anything you take away from this video, it is to always know what you're signing up for, what you're putting your name on. Because once you sign something, it's legally binding. So always make sure that you know what you're signing up for. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to be that person. In any kind of situation like that, always take at least 24 hours to sleep on it. Think it over. Really decide, is this something you really want to commit to? Having a personal trainer it's tough work. You know what I'm saying? It's not only a huge commitment to them, but it's a huge commitment to yourself. Leave all your thoughts, comments, and love down below. And we will see you in the next Storytime video. Bye.